I'm Leah Woodford, founder and CEO of SmartFem magazine. I'm on a quest to meet some of the most influential people in today's world. I'll be talking to women and companies that understand the fierce brand loyalty of the female consumer. We'll get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the risks, challenges, and successes of today's most influential people. Healthcare is big business, but are we putting profits before people? Hi, this is Leah Woodford of SmartFem TV, and today we're in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, talking to a revolutionary medical clinic that's putting people and health first. With me now is Hans Truesdell, CEO of RCT. Hi Hans, thanks for being here.
Hi Leah, thank you. How are you?
What makes RCT different from other clinics?
Well, RCT is using individualized medicine, so we're treating the patient and not the disease. So we don't have a set protocol for a patient just because they're, for instance, let's say they have rheumatoid arthritis. The molecules that we're using and the concentration change based on that individual's needs at a cellular level.
Dr. Carmen, you're the Chief Medical Officer here at RCT. What makes it so special, and why do you like it more than traditional medicine?
Wow, I like this question. I love the time I get to spend with my patient. They mean everything to me.
So Dawn, tell me, what kind of arthritis do you have?
I have psoriatic arthritis, which attacks the joints.
How long have you had that diagnosis?
I was diagnosed about 4 years ago, but I was on a quest of trying to figure out what was wrong with me for about 6 years prior to that. I'd gone to many different doctors and quite a process, but nobody could seem to figure out what was going on with me. I went through a phase where I thought I had cancer. I just didn't know what was going on. I was getting really scared because none of the doctors seemed to know what was going on.
And you were showing me all these medications. Can you tell me a little bit about the medications they had you on?
I was on steroids for quite a long time. I was on methotrexate, Humira, Cella something or another. I'm not sure the technical name of it, but I was on about 6 to 8 different drugs. Ambien for sleeping because I couldn't sleep, and painkillers for my pain. Tramadol was one of them, and Vicodin and Percocet. Yeah.
My goodness, I can't even imagine what the side effects were from all these different medications.
You have no idea. The side effects, I would have rather, looking in retrospect, I would have rather dealt with the pain than have to deal with the side effects that I had to go through. It was unbelievable what I went through.
How is RCT different? Tell me about your experience here.
Okay, the experience here is they're very patient-centered care. I don't feel like I got that in the States. I felt like I was just being shuffled around from doctor to doctor. I didn't really feel like any of them really cared about, trying to find out what was wrong with me. I just felt like I was being shuffled around. And here, instantly when I came in, I felt like they really cared. And to me, that means a lot, coming to a clinic where you feel like they really have your best interest at heart and not the financial aspect of it, but really trying to get to the depth of what's going on with you instead of just trying to sell you a bunch of drugs.
So Mary, what made you choose RCT?
I have rheumatoid arthritis, which means I have an autoimmune condition. I see a lot of people these days going out and using stem cells to fix joints that need help, but that's not really a good answer, I don't think, for autoimmune disease. You need a bigger answer. You need to get down to the cellular level. You need to heal the body. You need to reset the immune system. And the peptides that they use at RCT can do that, and I felt that was a much more whole and complete answer.
RCT uses peptides. What are they and how are they effective?
So peptides are chains of amino acids, and these particular peptides we're using are carrying encoded information that the cells are able to use to repair themselves. So if you think of the cells as software, this is the equivalent of a software update so that the cells can actually fix their function.
What kind of illnesses do you see the greatest responses from here at RCT?
RCT's treatments have the potential to be the most effective in the area of rheumatology, oncology and neurological conditions.
So Bryce, what brought you to RCT?
The fact that I had a debilitating affliction called rheumatoid arthritis. I didn't know what it was before it struck me, but it was taking me down. And I went to 3 different doctors in Texas, and I got the same diagnosis that you have RA, but then they give me the same prescription. And I just didn't like what I read about that medicine to treat RA. So I started looking for alternatives, and RTC came up, and I started researching it, reading about it, talking to Hans, and I decided it was my best shot.
Now, what was your life like prior to your treatment here?
Well, for about the year and a half before my treatment, my life was a living hell. It's 24/7 of pain and inflammation and joints that are hurting, and you want to sleep, but when you wake up, you feel just as bad as you did when you went to sleep. So it was just a matter of my lifestyle was going away in a hurry. I knew that. I knew I was going to have to do something out of the ordinary, but I'm okay with that because I looked at my alternatives, and this seemed to be my best shot. And as it turned out, it gave me my life back.
So Linda, you were married to Bryce when, well, he was a bicycler, I understand. Mm-hmm. What was it like seeing him go from bicycling to this disease? Explain to me what happened.
It was very, very sad and very traumatic for him and for me. And so I saw him go through all the stages of that. And the first time we came here for his treatment, he could hardly walk down the steps to go to the beach. I mean, he was in such pain. And so I've seen him just recover slowly, from that crippling arthritis. And it's been so joyful and happy to see him just normal again and enjoying his life and his activities that he does, and I'm so happy for him. So when we found out about the preventative for cancer and Alzheimer's, he asked me if I wanted to do it, and because I'd seen what happened to him and his recovery and his success with this treatment, that really encouraged me to say, okay, I'll do that. And so I'm, looking forward to maybe this helping in the years to come to, not have cancer or Alzheimer's, hopefully. It will help.
And improving your quality of life.
Yes.
Well, you guys are pretty much newlyweds anyway, right?
Yeah, we've been married 6 years.
So yeah, you're still newlyweds. You got a lot of life together.
Yeah, so we do, and I'd like for those to be happy, healthy years. And if this can help in any way, we're just willing to give that a chance.
So this went on for years. How did that affect your business and your family?
Oh my goodness. I was so bad at one point in September to December of 2015. I'm a very high energy person, and so I'm always go, 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 and I can multitask and do 15 different things at a time. And during that phase of my process, I would go to work and I couldn't focus. The side effects were so bad that I would look at my desk and just be instantly overwhelmed. I felt like I had ping pong balls going off in my head. I couldn't focus. It had a tremendous effect on my marriage with my husband. I'm surprised he's still with me because the steroids alone, I was on steroids for quite a long time, several years, and from what I understand now, that's meant to be more of a short-term drug. But the steroids, with my high-intensity personality and then adding steroids on top of it, I would just get into like a rage, for no reason at all. And God bless my husband, because he went through a lot with my process, and I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah, I mean, and my family, my kids, I mean, my daughter was just like so worried about me, and I had to do something. And so when I came to RCT, the first thing my daughter said was, Mom, you're getting scammed. Don't go, don't do it. And I was like, baby, I'm on my last rope. I don't know what else to do. And I have to do something. I have to get my life back because
You have a real estate company too, don't you?
I do. I own a real estate office, and so I'm very, very busy with that. And that was really suffering because I went through a phase where I was like literally having to sneak out of the office midday and take a 3-hour nap, and that's not me. I'm like high octane all the time, go, go, go. And for me to have to, sneak away, first of all, it was kind of humiliating for me because it's like, I'm a power person. I'm not, I'm not someone who goes home and takes a nap. And so for me to have to do that, it was, and my business suffered because of it. My family suffered because of it. I kind of started shutting myself off from my friends because I didn't want them to see me the way I was. So it was very, very challenging to go through all that.
So
Sorry.
No. So you've got your life back.
I have my life back. I do. It's just this place has saved my life. It literally has saved my life. And the side effects that I was on from all those drugs, to be off of them all now, and what they do here is all natural, and it just literally changed my life. I mean, within a month, I was off all of my medication, all of my state prescribed medication I was off of within a month. And I on a daily basis before, even with the medication, I was on anywhere from a 6 to a 10 pain scale. And within a month, my pain levels started coming down. Within 6 months, they were cut in half. Now I'm pain-free. I have no pain. I'm on no medicine. And I have my life back. And it's crazy. It's crazy to see where I was and where I am now. And I'm just love this place. I mean, everybody here is so awesome, and they're so caring, and they really, truly are patient-centered. They're not profit-centered, they're patient-centered, and that's what I really loved about it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Dawn. Thanks for sharing your story.
You're so welcome. I'm just pleased that I hope that I can change someone else's life by doing this, because to live through what I've lived through and then be where I'm at now is a miracle. It really is.
So Annie, I know that you are a cancer patient advocate, but I also understand that you're going through this yourself right now. Can you tell me about why you're here?
I met RCT a few years ago when they were doing peptides and came and looked at the clinic, fell in love with it. And then when they decided to go into integrative care for cancer and chronic disease, I came down with another couple of people and helped them set up a program. And so I'm here to evaluate it as a cancer patient.
Wow. So how are you feeling going through the treatments? What's different?
Oh wow, it's so easy, and you feel so good, and you don't feel like you have cancer. You're not that picture that's walking around sick and bald. And
Nobody ever says they feel good after chemo.
No. Well, they shouldn't. It's poison, so you don't. But this is different. This is the therapies that they use here respect the body, respect the immune system. They're actually re-nourishing and rebuilding the bodily functions. The peptides do it from the cellular level up. So this is not peptides, but it's very similar in that it is addressing the body systems, re-nourishing them, rebuilding them, revitalizing them. So you actually do feel like this little flower that's getting stronger and healthier and more unfurled.
So Annie, tell me how this is different from traditional cancer treatment.
Okay, so traditional cancer treatment doesn't have a way to target the cancer. It can only treat the whole body. So they take your body weight and fill your body with chemo, or they take radiation and they
Kill everything.
Yeah. And so what the therapies they do here do is they target just the cancer cells and not the person. So they're not only rebuilding the body and the immune system, they are targeting the cancer with only the cancer, with the things that the cancer can't eat, can't use. So in other words, they're starving the cancer.
Starving the cancer.
Yeah, the ketogenic diet starves the cancer. All the oxidative therapies starve the cancer. And you, of course, feel nothing but good.
Well, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, I feel amazing.
Now, how can RCT's rheumatology treatments, how can they improve the life of a patient?
So the treatments have the potential to modulate the immune system so that the immune system is no longer attacking the patient's body, and also regenerate the joints. So the cells that we're targeting in rheumatology are typically ligaments, muscles, bones, and tendons.
So for neurological treatments like Alzheimer's or early signs of dementia, how effective is RCT?
Well, we know these molecules have the potential to be extremely effective because we're targeting the neurons, and some of the molecules we're using can actually create new neurons. They have the potential to create new neurotransmitters and improve synaptogenesis, which is basically the electrical communication between the neurons.
This is really exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
What kind of changes have you seen since you started your treatment?
I'm still in the early stages, but I have noticed a slow and gradual improvement in my ability to walk. It's my knees that are mostly affected. When I first started treatment, I was lucky when playing golf if I could finish all 18 holes. In fact, most of the time I couldn't. My knees, about the 15th hole, would say, "You really don't need to play those last 3 or 4 holes. Why don't you just sit it out in the cart?" And I would. And now my knees aren't even talking to me by the end of the 18th. I'm not running marathons, but I'm seeing a slow and gradual improvement, which makes sense to me because my body did not get into this condition overnight, and it's not going to get itself out of it overnight. I think it takes a while for healing to happen, and I'm seeing that happen.
Yeah, how long have you been getting treatments?
Well, it's been about 5 months, and it will be a year when the treatment's complete.
So you're already seeing a significant improvement in just 5 months then?
I can't tell you that the actual physical improvement is the most important part of it for me. It's the peace of mind, the knowing that I can fix this, and not just a temporary Band-Aid fix, but I can fix this down at the root level. This is a fix that's going to not only help me today and tomorrow, but this is going to be a fix that still helps me 10 and 20 and 30 years from now, because we fixed the autoimmune condition that's driving the problem.
What is it about RCT and their approach that's so different?
What I liked is they've got a big toolbox. They have a lot of different options, so you can find the one that's going to work for you. In my case, it may be a combination of different things that are available here, and the use of the peptides is an unusual tool to find. And in my case, with an autoimmune condition, rheumatoid arthritis, that's a really valuable tool to find and use because it gets to the root of the problem, and it's kind of like pressing a reset button in your body that's been in the wrong place for probably decades. And now finally, you'll be able to get the body to change its operating system, so to speak, and get back to a normal, natural way of operating.
Like a software reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
So how was traditional medicine when you were going through the traditional treatment? What was that like?
The traditional options were much more limited, and they were more of a Band-Aid approach, but with a lot of side effects. When I was first given prednisone, a pain-killing steroid, yes, it diminished the pain considerably, but I was not able to sleep, I had insomnia, I had watermelon face, I had all the typical side effects that you have with a high dose of prednisone, and it's not a permanent answer. In fact, the next thing that I graduated to was to try and treat this as a symptom of leaky gut, because I had learned that a lot of rheumatoid arthritis really starts with leaky gut. And so we started to take certain foods and whatnot out of my diet, and that diminished my pain more than I think it was 50 milligrams of prednisone had done.
Now I understand you're trying another treatment. Can you tell us about that?
Well, yes, I've had so much success with this. I started the treatments for RA in October of 2011, and here I am, leading a normal life. And I just felt like I'm 69, and I felt like that I feel so much concern about, not length of life, but your health.
Quality.
The quality. And I just felt like that with the success of this treatment and the other things that they're researching and knowing Dr. Carmen and getting to know the folks here, I felt like that it might be a good idea to do some preventive treatment, such as cancer, Alzheimer's, things that we'd probably be looking at in our life right now. So I felt like if we went ahead and were proactive and took this treatment, that we'd have a great shot at having, you know, some good years ahead.
Thanks for sharing your story, Bryce.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
So Hans, what's on the horizon for RCT?
So this year the clinic is going to be certified for mononuclear stem cells for a few different diseases. They're extremely effective. So they're very effective for arthrosis, or basically when the joints have just worn out. So far we've seen about an 80% efficacy rate where somebody comes in with a knee bone on bone and we'll have a normal space within 30 to 60 days. So we're very excited about that because it's a fairly economic solution, and obviously you don't have all the downtime that you'd have when you go under the knife.
So knees and hip replacement without surgery?
Absolutely, really any joint when it's successful. We also are going to be able to use mononuclear stem cells for diabetic foot, and it's also roughly a 80% success rate. And also in order to regenerate the skin. So we think it's going to become very popular to use mononuclear stem cells to actually regenerate the face as an alternative option instead of going through plastic surgery or Botox or other things like that.
So this could replace surgery and Botox and fillers?
It certainly has the potential to do that, yes.
Oh, that's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Hans, for being here on the show. This has been Leah Woodford with SmartFem TV. Thanks for watching.